I'm here to show you this cluster stitch. I've used it in my granny square book cover. So I'm just going to show you here how I join. I have a half double crochet before the stitch in this pattern. So my last one, just my 36th half double crochet, I slip stitch to join. And now I chain 2 and I start this cluster stitch. So you go yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 on the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. I have 5 loops on the hook. Okay, you're gonna yarn over, skip this stitch here, go to the next one, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now that's 7 on the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into that stitch you're working in, and pull up a loop. I have 9 on the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yarn over through all 9 loops and chain 1. So that's a cluster. So that's a 2 stitches to make a cluster. I've got 2 stitches on the top. So now what you do is you repeat this and you go yarn over and you go into the same stitch here. Yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 on the hook. Yarn over into the same stitch, pull up a loop, sorry. I got 5 on the hook. Yarn over, skip a stitch, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 7 on the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into that stitch, yarn up. I've got 9 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through all 9. Chain 1 to finish it. So you keep going in the same stitch. So I'm going to go around because the second row is a bit different because you're going into the gaps. You want to stack these clusters on top of each other. So keep going and follow me to get this cluster. Yarn over, insert your hook in the same stitch, 3, yarn over, 5, yarn over, skip, insert, that's 7, yarn over, pull up, that's 9, yarn over, and pull through. Do you want me to do one more slow? And then I'm going to proceed to the end. So yarn over, insert my hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up, that's 3. Yarn over, insert to the same stitch, yarn over, pull up, that's 5 on the loop. Yarn over, skip a stitch, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, that's 7. Yarn over, insert your hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull up, that's 9. Yarn over, pull through all 9 and chain 1 to complete. So I'm going to keep doing this until we get to the end, and then you'll see what the second row is like. But I am doing this on my Granny Square book cover Kindle, so I will link this video to that as well. But it's a demonstration of this cluster stitch, which is sort of different in your second row, and then you just repeat your second row for as many times as your pattern calls for, or if you're designing. And I'm just continuing on here. This one here, I'm just going into this stitch here. I've joined my granny square. I have to sew down my sides, but this is just my top. Chain 1. I have forgotten to chain 1 on occasion, so especially if I'm talking. I keep it kind of loose on my stitches here. The tension, try to be consistent. You can see here, because you want to be able to pull through all 9 stitches, and I hold my bottom of the stitches and I pull through. And I usually don't have a problem with this yarn. I'm using Bernat Premium and Parchment. I love this color. I love this neutral. I do have it in my shop, but I just buy it from Walmart. I can't order it myself. It's a color exclusive to Walmart, but I just love it. Keep going here, not too much longer. I find this stitch very relaxing. It is a yarn eater. I only have 2 rows in this pattern with it, but it creates a nice thick, dense texture, so it's good for things like this. So the only difference is now in your last one, you do the same thing, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up 3, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up 5, yarn over. I'm going to skip this stitch, but where I enter the last cluster, I go into the bottom here of your first cluster stitch. See here? So I'm going into this bottom right here, and that's where I enter it. And you'll see how it ties it neatly, and you just complete it there. Pull through 9, chain 1, and now you single crochet. I have my chain 2 here to the top loop of the first cluster there. Not one, this is 1 chain, 2 chain, and then this one is where you single crochet. Or sorry, you slip stitch to join. So there I've joined, chain 2, and where we go again, yarn over, and I'm into this gap right here. 3, that's 5, yarn over. So now where we enter the next cluster is we go into this gap here. So it still is really skip a stitch and then in here, but I go into this gap. Okay, so right into the gap, insert your hook. You're doing the same process. I have 9 on the hook, pull through, chain 1. So you continue doing this the same, skip, and then into this gap, and I'll get a few and you'll see how they stack on top nicely. I'll do a couple more. And I'll show you how they stack. If they don't look like this, then you've done something wrong. Just go back, replay. Okay, I'll show you now how they look. Chain 1. All right, see how they stack on top? So it's right even, right on top. Okay, so that's basically how you do it. And if you were continuing on, this pattern only has 2 rows, but you would just continue on with the second row into the gap as you continue on how many rows you have. Okay, so there you go for the cluster stitch here. And any other questions, just shoot me a message and I'll try and help you. Good luck.